Oh yeah, what's up, man? Baseboxing basement should be right. Remember to like. Don't cost nothing, not a ting, man. And keep them haters away. Yeah, what's up, man? There's not much happening in boxing. I don't even know what fights are on this weekend. I think it's next weekend, eh? What are we now? Well, I don't even know what day it is, man. What day is it? Let me have a look. Six blood clot. So yeah, so we got the Itama Dylan White rip-off pay-per-view next week, which I'll watch and I will live it. But no way I'm paying no 59.9 for an Ergovich Adelaide. Some people, you know what? I previewed them. I'll get back to a final preview after I see the weigh-ins. But Hergovich looking in good shape. I think he'll stop Adelaide, but it's only a 10-rounder, so maybe Ergovich don't. Ergovich ain't. He can punch, but he ain't brutal puncher. Italma, I don't know. Some people think White's got a chance. Whatever. I've done videos on these. We'll get back to them. Let me tell you about a story that happened yesterday, right? Because like I said, there's not much boxing talk. I'm doing videos about stews and Nephilims, but so I was in the gym, right, doing my usual thing. I like to work hard when I'm in the gym. I don't mess around. I battle that bag. I shadow box. I do weights. And people look at me. Why? Because I can fight. Right? There's a couple of utes I take on the pads and that. But anyway, I was in the gym. Right? I'm doing my thing. I never boxed like this. Obviously, I would come forward. I just take the punches in the face and catch them, block them with my face. But I wish I'd actually concentrated a bit and taken it seriously. But now I like to work on my moves. I still spar occasionally, and I work not to get hit and hit. But I'm not. I don't like boxing boringly. Just trying to stick the jab out and keep your hands out and hold and try and fiddle. I hate that kind of style of boxing. So I still have to, I've added some flash to my moves. I don't know at what level they would work, but I spotted a few young lads and yeah, pulled it off, man. Anyway, so I'm like, dancing around on the toes, moving, boom, switching stance, throwing shots with speed, with power, accuracy. As I said, it doesn't take much to be accurate on the heavy bag, or when you're shadowboxing, obviously. But yeah, so anyway, and I'm sitting there in the mirror, and I'm shadowboxing with weights, and I've got some music blowing out my earphones. The best music, if you're training is hip hop, urban, or like maybe some dance music a bit. I do like that. There's a couple of pop beats actually that work quite well. I listen to Blue. This is that whack boy band. I think half of them was Batimans, but yeah, in the end, which is hardly surprised. I think to get there, you got to be a bit fruity anyway. You got to give out your batte, and in return, you get to go in a boy band. Notice how many of these guys that become boy band members or become artists end up messed up drug addicts. There's that guy Aaron Carter. Yeah, he made millions. He's the brother of Nick Carter from the Backstreet Batty Boys, and and he'd already been abused. You can just see the signs. He died of a drug overdose, and he was a good looking young lad. I bet the Rogans took advantage of him, and he started tattooing his face, and he got dark. He died so that. But anyway, I listened to Blue. I think it's called One Love. The song, One Love. For the city streets, one love for the hip hop beats. It's quite dancey and that. And anyway, so I was just, throwing this with style, like I said, like Hamed on the bag when he was dancing around it. And I see this girl. Right? And, to be fair, she was pretty cute, She's sitting there in them, them stupid, tight, really ridiculously tight shorts. Yeah, they go right up their batty crease, and you can see the camel's hoof. The camel's hoof on some of these women. It's just disgusting how tight these... I don't know how they find these fabrics, right? I once said to this woman, oh man, I can't believe what the girls wear these days. I mean, back in the old days, if you wore that, other girls would look at you disgustedly because you were a skank. But, now it's normal. And they're working on their to build a bubble butt. And she's doing a bubble butt exercises, all these kind of... I don't know what it is. It shows how easy it is to manipulate women. Back in the day, they wanted a small peachy ass. They didn't want no big ass. But now, because they've been manipulated by the media, okay, they all go for the bubble butt. And anyway, and I'm sitting there, and I suddenly see this woman, right? This young girl. Like I said, she's pretty, to be fair. A nice face. And she sets up, she's doing these exercises. She's set up, she's taking her shoes off, right, and put them on the side. And she's set up a camera, her camera phone, so it can film like her doing her stupid exercises, so she can put it on Instagram or whatever. Now, the gym that I'm at, it strictly says, do not film other people in the gym. And she's good at it, and she's filming herself, but also me in the background. And I seen her set it up, and I see her look at me. She's looking at me. She's filming me as well. And I walk up to her. I go, hey. She's got headphones on. I go, you. I said, no. I said, you do not film me. You do not film me. She goes, you're posh as well. I'm so sorry. And to give her credit, instead of going, I wasn't filming you, she actually said, I'm sorry, I was filming you, but I've deleted it. I go, no, you haven't. You haven't touched your phone. You haven't had time to delete it. You are taking I will not be filmed. I said, look what it says on that. It says, do not film other people in the gym. I'm really sorry. I said, that's enough. Just don't do it. Don't invade my privacy. You're not letting me talk. I said, you don't need to talk. You did nothing to say except sorry and to stop doing what you're doing. If you want to film yourself doing your exercises, turn the camera around so that you're not got me in this shot. And I said, no, I'm serious. Okay? I said, look, you're not meant to do it. I don't want to be filmed. You will not invade my privacy. I'm so... I said, just don't do it. Anyway, it was a bit hard on her. Like, I let her know. Don't, but why not? I mean, imagine, I said to her, look, what would you do, right? If you was doing your exercises and I sat there filming you doing these exercises, or any man was filming a woman in the gym, wearing tight clothes, doing, these exercises, what would you do? You would complain immediately. You would scream. You would get a man banned from the gym, yeah? You probably go to you have the police knocking on the door. I hear you've been filming women without their consent, because the police are scumbags. And as soon as a pretty girl makes a complaint, obviously, because they're creepy, there's loads of instances of coppers trying it on with witnesses and stuff like that. Yeah, the scumbags. So, I said, what? So you'd be all right if another man was filming you as you are? That? I said, no, of course you wouldn't. You'd go nuts. I said, don't do it to me. Shut up. Right, and I walked off. Obviously, she stopped. And but it just shows you the hypocrisy. I mean, imagine that, right? Imagine if it was the other way around. And you get these things on YouTube. You look at YouTube, there's women that deliberately film themselves doing really provocative exercises, wearing these ridiculously, I don't even know what they're made of, these tight fabrics that go up their batty crease, that show the camel's hoof. You can see the camel's hoof. Might as well be naked. And then a guy will look over and they'll jump up and go, don't look at me. Why are you staring at me? You're making me feel uncomfortable. You're sexualizing me. I feel like you're graping me with your eye. And they put it up on YouTube to get views. Have you seen those kind of things? Yeah. So, you know, it's one rule for the women, one rule for the men. But no, not when the triple B's around. You let them know. No, you're not doing that, man. You're not filming me. I don't know why she was filming me anyway. Apart from the fact I look slick and awesome. I'm not bragging, you know. Or maybe she thought I looked like an idiot and she was going to put it up and go, oh, well, what's this man doing? Because you don't know nothing about boxing or style or speed or power or accuracy. Maybe she didn't know. She thought, well, what's he doing dancing around like that? He looks weird. I'm going to show it to my friends. I seen this, because when I turned around and clocked her, she had this stupid grin on her face when she was filming me. Yeah. No, I've deleted it. No, you didn't. You haven't even touched your phone. All right? Don't let me see you do that again. Yeah? Yeah, no. You are not going to film me. Okay? I don't like it. Yeah? You're invading my privacy. I'm here to work out. Huh? Yeah, I look hot. I look bad. Yeah? You ain't never seen the movement, the speed, the power, the accuracy, the viciousness. But, man, that's my business. That ain't your business. Anyway. Also in the gym. No, but and I even went out. I had to go up to one of the trainers and say, listen, man, I'm not complaining, right? But I'm just told him what happened. I said, listen, I ain't no grass. I don't care. She's a young girl. I don't care about it. But I'm telling you what happened so that I don't want this girl to cry and go, oh, that man came up and intimidated me and was mean to me. I said, I wanted to let you know that she's filming me and she admitted it. Yeah, and it's banned in the gym. I'm telling you, I just because you know girls a lot of girls that play the victim, don't they? Oh, that man intimidated me. What I was doing was filming myself doing some exercises, which you're not going to do anyway. Yeah, so you got to cover yourself against these wenches. Yeah, but she didn't complain. She knew she was wrong. She admitted it. She said, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was filming you. I'm sorry. I deleted it. No, you didn't. You haven't even touched your phone. So how have you managed to delete it? Stop lying. You know, I had to let her know. You let a person know, let a brother know. Anyway, whilst I was in the gym, there's also this dwarf there. I mean, a genuine dwarf. But like, you know, when they've actually got dwarfism. But it sounds weird. Like, she didn't, you know, when they get these big heads and that, and you know, it looks a bit weird. Like, but she had a normal head. Like, it wasn't deformed. And she actually had quite a pretty little face. But, you know, she was a dwarf. And, you know, and I ain't bragging. I mean, I ain't the young, good-looking guy I was, but she was looking at me, checking me out too. I was like, yeah, you can check me out, just don't film me. You know, anyway, you know, as if I ain't down with getting with no dwarf. Anyway, I mean, I'm not being mean, man. You know, life's hard enough. You know, but when you got disabilities, I got disabilities. Mental health, like Ricky Hatton. He said, man, it's through trauma. It's not because I just did a whole bunch of yayo and drank myself stupid every night. Of course, you can get mental health problems when you're sniffing, ounce after ounce of yayo and drinking yourself into stupidity. And don't try that crime with a mental health thing. It's not mental health. It's called yayo addiction and alcoholism. Yeah? Anyway, this midget, right? I bet you like the plenty goes, oh, would you? No, I wouldn't. No, I definitely wouldn't. First, it's disgusting. I'm a Christian. I don't do stuff like that anymore. Secondly, even when I was, you know, that would be so creepy, man. I feel like I was some kind of weirdo. You know? And imagine, man, you know, I'm not giving none of my DNA to a midget. Like, you know, what happened if you got pregnant? You might get your kid, and it's like Nick Ball or Sonny Edwards. You know, I'm not throwing feces in my gene pool. Yeah, I'm not dirtying my gene pool. So, you know, I thought it was weird, and obviously, yeah, like I'm not being mean. Life's hard enough to get through life without extra problems. So, you know, I hope she finds a nice boyfriend, but it'll probably be a bit creepy. But you know, so what else? What else happened? Yeah. After that, I was like, yeah. I did like 2 hours in the gym, weights and shadowboxing and bashing up the bag, and I forgot my gloves. So I had to do it bare knuckle. So now like my hands are all like bruised up, but you know, listen, man, you either going hard or you don't bother. You know, I've been watching a lot of bare knuckle boxing, yeah, and you know, you'll damage your hands. That's part of it, man. That's part of the story. I'm not gonna touch the bag. I'm gonna crack it, whether or not I'm bare knuckle. I'm wearing boxing gloves, and then yeah. So after that, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna cool my head down a bit. I'd be, you know, I worked hard, man, and I was a bit annoyed. So I went to Spoons. Where the Spoons? You know, I want to give my money to independents because they're gonna take over. I don't like these big, huge, these huge kind of what do you call it, monopolies or whatever. You know, to buy all the locations, and independents cannot compete with their prices. But I went there anyway and had just a couple of 1.99 Bud Lights, and then I noticed this, right. I don't know what it is if you've been to Spoons. Firstly, you know, there's all these people hanging around, and I know they got their app and they've got this, that, and the food coming out. But sometimes you'll be sitting there, there'll be three of people just chatting to themselves. And I'm like sitting in the bar going, what? What am I, a mirage? What am I, a mirage? Am I invisible? You know what I'm saying? And you go, excuse me, can I get you? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just doing something first. I'm like thinking, no, you're chatting to your pal. Yeah? Give me my drink. Anyway, and I noticed this. I've noticed this before. I think I mentioned this on another video, and I'm sure it's illegal. I don't know why it hasn't been challenged. Right, the GDPR rules are you can, if you're in a public place, right. Number one, and you need to know this, in case something happens. Number one, they can record visual only. They cannot record sounds because that's considered impinging upon someone's privacy, because you could be discussing private stuff, you could be discussing business. So, you know, it's a business transaction. You're not allowed to. You can only record visuals. Even that I find wrong. You know, CCTV everywhere. But this guy come up to the bar and he's got this on this, like, what do you call it? I forgot the name, but you know, like it's like a bit of ribbon or whatever. And you know, you hang ID off it. I can't remember what it's called. Someone tell me, man. There's a special name for it. It's called lynch or something like that. And anyway, and I noticed he's got a little camera hanging off it. Not only has he got a camera hanging off it, it says audio and visual. So they're recording. So this guy's recording everyone, their conversation and their face and everything. That's illegal. I'm sure that's illegal by GDPR rules. And I'm certain it is, because I've worked in businesses where you've had you know the required you to know the GDPR rules. So why Wetherspoon's allowing their staff to film people's conversations and visuals? I'm sure it's illegal. No one's complaining. Why is no one complaining? Because they're too busy watching football and looking forward to Strictly Come Dancing, and because the system doesn't teach you about the law. You notice that? Ignorance of the law is not an excuse, apparently, but they never teach you the law. Why do they not teach you the law of the land at school? I'll tell you what. Because if people were taught law at school, and it should be a prerequisite, instead of teaching you about multiculturalism and matte business, yeah? They don't teach you about law, do they? But you're expected to obey the law, even though they don't teach it to you. Can you see a problem there? Yeah? I mean, it's all right, obviously, you know, everyone knows, like, yeah, murdering someone or stealing or battering someone for no reason is not reasonable. But actually the laws regarding fighting are actually much more complex than that. If someone comes to you and you think they're going to, I think it's 1968 Criminal Law Act. If someone comes towards you and it looks like their intention is to harm you, you're allowed to crack them. Yeah, you're allowed to use reasonable force. Who decides reasonable force? Well, it's up to the jury and the judge, I guess. You know, I guess, like, if you whack someone and then you carry on stamping on their head until their head came off, that would not be considered reasonable force. But, you know, just cracking someone once on the chin, I mean, Michael Gomez. Michael Gomez, the boxer, very, very. He beat up Alex Arthur in a big upset. Michael Gomez, he was only 9 stone as well. What's that, bantamweight, and or featherweight, or so. He was a small guy. Someone started him in the streets, and he chinned him, and unfortunately, he knocked the guy out. He must have been chinny. Wow, Gomez could whack actually, but he's small. But this guy fell and smashed his head on the pavement and died. And he didn't get no sentence because there must have been CCTV or witnesses that saw that this guy had come forward, tried to attack him, or had intention to hurt him. So it's self-defense. But I wouldn't want that on my conscience anyway. Although I've taken out a few people like that. But I've just run off, man. Okay, yeah, whack them out, and then you get out of there in the club. I've never started, but I finished. You know what I'm saying? Never started on nobody. Never. I go to clubs and bars, to have a good time, to party, to find some woman, to find women. I don't go there to find a fight. But if someone's gonna start me, then they're gonna get chinned. End of story. So yeah. Anyway, that was my day, man. How was your day? Put it in the comments. Tell me how your day was. Tell me what you think about these women filming themselves in the gym and with their stupid bubble butt exercises and wearing these ridiculous tight clothing that shows the camel's hoof. What do you think about that, man? Put it in the comments. See you later, man.